A warm welcome to you all. In the previous session, we learned about the standard units of measurement and the correct method of measurement. Now, we are going to learn about the measurement of area and volume from the lesson Motion and Measurement Class 6 Science. Learning outcomes. At the end of this session, you will be able to understand about area, standard units of measuring area. Measuring the area of a regular surface. Measuring the area of the irregular plane surface. Volume. Standard unit of volume of a solid. Measurement of volume of irregular solids using a measuring cylinder. Keywords. Area, the region bounded by the shape of an object. Volume, the amount of space occupied by any three-dimensional solid. Regular surface, all the sides and inside angles are equal. Irregular surface, doesn't have equal sides or equal angles. Measuring cylinder, instrument used to measure the volume of the liquid. Before starting, let us look at the concept map of this session. Area is the measure of the extent of plane surface occupied by an object. Observe the figures shown on the screen. In each figure, vertical and horizontal lines divide the surface into certain number of parts. You may notice that the small parts in each diagram have equal lengths and breadth, 1 centimeter each. Area of each part is equal to 1 square centimeter and it is written as centimeter square. In both the figures shown here, we have same number of squares of area 1 centimeter square each and have a total area of 16 centimeter square each. These figures have different shapes but equal areas. Square centimeter is a standard unit to measure the area of a surface. We use meter square, millimeter square, foot square, etc. also to measure the areas according to need and requirement of the situation. For measuring the area of a regular surface, let us take a cardboard and cut it into a shape of rectangle having length 4 centimeter and breadth 2 centimeter. The convenient unit to measure the area of a given cardboard would be centimeter square. For this, take a centimeter graph paper. Each small square on this graph paper has a side equal to 1 centimeter. The area of each small square on this graph paper is 1 centimeter square. Place the cardboard on the centimeter graph paper and draw its outline with the help of pencil. Now, remove the cardboard and mark the shape as P, Q, R and S. Count the number of squares inside the outline. The number of squares is 8. Area of the cardboard is equal to the area covered by PQRS on the graph paper. Area of PQRS is equal to total area of unit squares inside the PQRS equals to 8 into area of 1 unit square is equal to 8 into 1 centimeter square, which is equal to 8 centimeter square. To find out the area of an irregular surface, take a leaf which has irregular shape. Place the leaf on a graph paper. Mark the boundary of the leaf on the graph paper with a pencil. Now, remove the leaf to find the outline of the leaf on graph paper. Count the number of complete squares, each of 1 centimeter square area inside the boundary. Also, count those squares inside the boundary which are half or greater than half. Add this to the number of complete squares. This total number of squares inside the boundary gives the area of the leaf. If there are n squares inside the boundary, the area of the leaf becomes n centimeter square. Neglect those squares inside the boundary which are less than half. This process will give us a value of the area which is close to the actual area. Volume is a measure of the extent of space occupied by a body. We use measuring cylinders to measure the volumes of liquids such as kerosene, milk, oils, water, etc. The volume of liquids is expressed in liters or milliliters. 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter. We can also measure the volumes of solids, for example, loose solids like sand, clay, and ready mix of cement, etc. To calculate the volume of a solid, let us do an activity. Take a cardboard box of length 3 cm, breadth 2 cm, and height 2 cm, and few identical cubes of length, breadth, and height 1 cm each. Place the cubes in the box so that the total space is occupied by the blocks. The volume of the rectangular cardboard box is equal to the total number of cubes occupying it. Since each cube has of length, breadth, and height 1 centimeter each, the volume of one cube is equal to 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter into 1 centimeter is equal to 1 centimeter cube, which is known as 1 cubic centimeter, written as 1 centimeter cube. Cubic centimeter is a standard unit for measurement of volume of solids. Therefore, volume of rectangular cardboard box is equal to 12 into 1 centimeter cube, which is equals to 12 centimeter cube. However, if we multiply length, breadth and height, it would be 3 centimeter into 2 centimeter into 2 centimeter is equal to 12 centimeter cube. Therefore, we can say volume of a box is equal to length into breadth into height. To measure the volume of irregular solids, let's do an activity. Take a measuring cylinder and fill almost half of it with water. Record the volume of water. Let us assume it is A milliliter. Now tie a small irregular solid, stone, with a fine cotton thread. Put the solid gently into the water in the cylinder so that it is completely immersed in water. You may notice that the level of water in the measuring cylinder rises as the stone displaces water equal to its own volume. Record the new volume of water. Let us assume that it is B milliliter. Now, the volume of stone will be the difference between the second volume and the first volume. That is, volume of the stone is equal to B minus A centimeter cube. Points to remember. Area is a measure of the extent of plane surface occupied by an object. Square centimeter is a standard unit to measure the area of a surface. Volume is a measure of the extent of space occupied by a body. We use measuring cylinders to measure the volumes of liquids. Volume of liquids is measured in liters or milliliters. 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter. Cubic centimeter is a standard unit for measurement of volume of solids. Volume of a box is equal to length into breadth into height. Thank you for watching.